The scary truth about Mikel Arteta is that nobody seems to realise just how far he has taken Arsenal and how dangerous this team has become.
Incredible statistic, no?
I think we're the best team in the Premier League right now.
Best team in the Premier League?
Probably wider than that as well. I just think they're playing so well. Every single player knows exactly what their role is in that team, knows exactly where all their teammates are, knows exactly what they're supposed to do.
Arsenal today are not just one of the best sides in England. They are arguably the most complete, most adaptive team in all of Europe. The question now is not whether they can compete. The question is whether they can make up those tiny margins to finally lift the trophies that, by all logic, they already should have won.
Football club, so the hunger, the desire, nobody can have more hunger and desire than that is impossible.
The parallels with Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool are striking. Klopp rebuilt Liverpool step by step until they became a powerhouse. Arteta is doing the same with Arsenal.
I don't believe even if Arsenal win the league, it'll be down to Gyökeres. Arsenal, for me, are the best team in this league by a mile defensively, arguably the best team in Europe defensively. And if they are to win the league, it'll be the two centre-backs, the midfield players in front of them, and the goalkeeper. That's how Arsenal win the league.
Season by season, this Arsenal side feels sharper, faster, more intelligent, more complete. But let's not forget where they started. Just 1 year into the job, Mikel Arteta looked finished. 14 points from 14 games. 15th in the Premier League. Dull football. No Champions League in sight. A fan base divided. And after the failures of Unai Emery and the last painful years of Arsene Wenger, Arsenal had never looked further away from competing for a Premier League title. 3.5 years later, Arsenal are unrecognisable. They produced a record-breaking 2023/24 season. 28 wins, 91 goals, 89 points, their best ever total in the Premier League, 1 point less than the Invincibles. From laughingstock to league leaders, this has been a transformation few could have predicted. And it's not just the numbers. Since that season, Arsenal have also had the best defence in the Premier League and in all of Europe.
Your pillar of strength is your two centre-backs, trust me. Saliba and Gabriel are the best partnership in the league. I've been saying it for the last 2 and a bit years. They are the best partnership in the Premier League. Van Dijk's the best centre-back.
What Arteta has done is surgical. Each year he has identified weaknesses and fixed them with precision. Each year the squad looks more balanced, more dangerous, more complete. From being Pep Guardiola's apprentice, Arteta is now his greatest challenger, and that alone should terrify the rest of Europe.
But now, let's all be honest, and I said it, I'll say it again. It's a must this year to win something. It's a must.
Something like what?
You can't hide.
Are you talking league?
Any competition that you're playing, whatever it is, you have to.
Even without lifting a trophy last season, their rise is something to celebrate. From 15th place to favourites for the Premier League and serious contenders for the Champions League in 5 years. And make no mistake, this revolution has names. Alongside sporting director Andrea Berta, Arteta has built the scariest squad in the Premier League. David Raya, the best goalkeeper in the world. William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, the strongest centre-back pairing anywhere. Martin Zubimendi, the most complete number 6 on the planet. Declan Rice and Martin Ødegaard forming the most intelligent midfield in England. And up front, a terrifying arsenal of firepower. Eberechi Esse, Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke, Victor Gyökeres.
Zubimendi first time, and the header! Brilliantly delivered by Victor Gyökeres!
This is not just a team, this is a master plan. A scientific process that Arteta has executed step by step, year by year, to create a side capable of achieving what no other Arsenal generation has managed before. A side that can finally win the Premier League. A side that can finally conquer Europe. And yet nobody seems to be talking enough about this Liverpool-style rebuild. Nobody seems to realise how close Arsenal are. In this video we will show you every detail, and you will see why Arteta's Arsenal might be about to terrify the entire football world. Pay close attention because the rise of Mikel Arteta is nothing short of fantastic. The way he has been solving Arsenal's problems year after year is magnificent. Back in December 2019, Arsenal were at their lowest point. The Unai Emery era had collapsed. Freddie Ljungberg couldn't stabilise things, and the Gunners sat 10th in the Premier League with 22 points from 17 matches. That's when Arteta walked through the doors just before Christmas.
So we have to try to engage everybody. I have to try convince the players what I want to do, how I want to do it. They have to start accepting a different process, a different way of thinking. And I want to get all the staff and everybody at the club with the same mindsets. You know, we have to build a culture.
The impact was immediate if you knew where to look. Guardiola's influence was written all over Arsenal from day one. The football became more structured. The team looked compact in defence, more disciplined in possession. Yes, it was slow, patient and sometimes boring, but it was the beginning of an idea. The 3-4-3 shape was not exciting to watch, but it made Arsenal difficult to beat. Arteta lost just one of his first 11 league games, taking 34 points from 21 matches, 7th best in the league in that stretch. And of course, the big moment was the FA Cup. A semi-final win over Manchester City showed his courage to build from the back.
Aubameyang for 2! He's done it!
And Aubameyang's brace sealed the trophy with victory over Chelsea, the first sign that Arteta's process had teeth. But Season 2 brought a crisis. 14 points from 14 matches, just 4 goals in 10 games. Arteta had frozen out Mesut Ozil, Partey and Gabriel Magalhaes struggled to settle, and Arsenal looked lost. Yet here's where Arteta showed something rare: humility. He loosened his principles, switched to a 4-2-3-1, brought in Smith Rowe and Martinelli, and suddenly the football flowed again. A 3-1 win over Chelsea on Boxing Day 2020 sparked a revival that lifted Arsenal back to the edge of top 4 contention.
Needed lead. Xhaka, it is the Swiss.
By 2021/22, the project finally had a shape. Odegaard became the main creative force, Granit Xhaka reinvented himself as a metronomic number 8, while Ramsdale and Ben White gave new life to the defence. But the boldest move, stripping Aubameyang of his role as captain, just as he had once done with Ozil. Arsenal was no longer a club run by its stars. It was Arteta's team now. Then came 2022/23, the breakthrough. With Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko arriving from City and Saliba back from Marseille, everything clicked. "50 points at the halfway stage, a run that rivaled Liverpool's peak under Klopp.
So it's all fine. We need them all, and it's not a phrase, it's exactly how it is. And I'm happy for them that they all could perform the way they performed. The next massive game is coming up already at Arsenal, and let's recover and go again."
Zinchenko redefined the inverted fullback role, the midfield was balanced, Martinelli was electric, and Jesus tied it all together. Arsenal were flying until they collapsed when Saliba got injured. City reeled them in, and the dream of the title slipped away. But the lesson was clear: depth. 2023/24 saw that lesson applied. In came David Raya, Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. Arsenal became more secure, smarter in possession, stronger at set pieces, scoring 20 goals from dead balls, the most in the league. Saliba and Gabriel formed the best centre-back pairing in Europe, and Arsenal delivered 18 clean sheets. They even beat City in October to prove they could go toe-to-toe. In 2024-2025 still wasn't enough. Magical nights like the 5-1 thrashing of City. The 7-1 demolition of PSV,
Department tonight, Arsenal, and they may get another. Calafiori!
Or Declan Rice's masterclass against Real Madrid showed the heights of this team.
I want to say, man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
Bukayo Saka stepped up as the undisputed leader. Miles Lewis-Skelly emerged from Hale End as a revelation. But once again, Arsenal finished empty-handed. The lesson: their tactics worked, their defence worked, but the squad depth wasn't enough. Arteta himself admitted it. It's very clear what we need to do, and so came the decisive rebuild. First, balance in midfield with Martin Zubimendi, the best number 6 in the world. Then firepower in attack. Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, Eberechiese. Suddenly Arsenal weren't one-dimensional. Suddenly the attack had width, variety, power. Now, even when Odegaard or Saka are sidelined, Arsenal don't collapse. They don't lose their edge. This squad, built with Andrea Berta's hand, is deeper, scarier, and far more lethal. And what Arteta has done with these tools on the pitch is brutal. So brutal that today Arsenal are not just contenders, they are favourites to win it all.
Right now, I will say that nobody has a team as deep as Arsenal in terms of the quality that it can have. Some team can give them a good run for the starting 11, but if you look at the team itself, you know, it's almost two teams. When you see who's on the bench tonight, and you're still missing Odegaard, Kai Havertz, and Bukayo Saka,
and Jesus.
And Jesus, yes, I even forgot. So when you look at that, you're like, okay, the team now is well equipped to be able to play in all.
And that leads us to the next question. How exactly has Arteta used this terrifying squad to create a tactical machine that nobody in Europe wants to face? One of the biggest problems Arsenal faced last season was simple. They couldn't create enough chances. Too many games ended in frustrating draws. Matches against Fulham, Brighton, Everton, all games where Arsenal dominated possession, had the talent on the pitch, but still couldn't finish the job. Liverpool took the Premier League almost unchallenged, not because Arsenal were weak, but because they couldn't turn control into wins. This season, that issue looks solved. With the arrivals of Eberechi Esse, Victor Gyökeres and Martin Zubimendi, Arsenal now have variety. They can break you down in different ways. They can create goals from multiple routes, not just relying on Bukayo Saka or Odegaard magic. And one mechanism already becoming a trademark of Arteta's new Arsenal is the 3-2 build-up structure. This is pure tactical evolution. When Arsenal start from the back, Jurriën Timber drifts inside from right back, forming a back three with the centre-backs. Meanwhile, Riccardo Calafiori tucks into midfield next to Declan Rice, creating a double pivot. The result? Arsenal build a box in midfield. That box gives them superiority in central areas, more passing angles, and the ability to either progress slowly with patience or break lines with vertical passes. It's control, but it's also dynamism. The perfect example came with the third goal against Leeds. Rice moved high to drag his marker out of position, freeing Calafiori at the base. The Italian looked up, played a direct vertical ball, and suddenly Victor Gyökeres was charging into space. One pass, one run, one finish. Clinical. This 3-2 structure is not just theory, it's visible in the goals. Against Nottingham Forest, Riccardo Calafiori stepped out from deep and broke the line with a vertical pass straight from his own half. Eberechi Esse, isolated one-on-one with the right-back, used his pace to burst inside the box. Spotting it instantly, Victor Gyökeres adjusted his movement, getting in front of the centre-back and ahead of the keeper. All he had to do was tap it in. Simple, but lethal. The exact same formula punished Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. In the dying moments, Eberechi Esse picked up the ball near halfway, lifted his head, and spotted Gabriel Martinelli making a diagonal run from the right into the central channel. Martinelli slipped in behind Gvardiol and ahead of Ake. Easy released a quarterback-style pass right into the D, cutting through City's defensive line. Martinelli didn't hesitate with Donnarumma caught in no man's land. He lifted a classy chip over him to equalise. Bilbao also suffered from this verticality. Another key trademark of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal is what can be called anchors and floaters. It sounds abstract, but it's one of the smartest tactical dynamics in Arsenal right now. Anchors are the fixed reference points in Arsenal's structure. These are the players who stay below or around the ball, holding their position to make sure the shape never collapses. They control width, central lanes and half spaces, ensuring that the team always has a solid base. With anchors in place, Arsenal can recycle possession, dictate tempo, and create a stable framework for the attack to build on. Floaters, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. They are the free spirits in Arteta's system players who give up positional reference and move fluidly depending on where the ball is. They self-organise in real time, making runs, drifting into pockets, and forming dynamic triangles that weren't there a second before. Their role is to destabilise the opposition by creating unexpected overloads and spontaneous combinations. But perhaps the most terrifying evolution of Arteta's Arsenal is their set-piece science. Corners are no longer random swings into the box, they are pre-programmed plays. Since the start of 2023/24, Arsenal have scored 36 goals from corners in the Premier League, 15 more than any other side. That is dominance by design.
Nice float on that, and Gabriel scores for Arsenal!
Against Newcastle in the first half, the Gunners aimed their deliveries to the far post, isolating Leandro Trossard or clearing zones for Gabriel. When that approach failed, Arteta switched it up with a short corner overload. Easy combined with Odegaard, dragging Trippier and Osler out of position and freeing Declan Rice to cross unopposed. The Norwegians' timing on the ball, Easy's pinning run, and Rice's delivery created the perfect mismatch. The sequence ended with a clever header into the net. In the second half, Arsenal rotated again. This time, Rice's crosses targeted the near post, with Timber and Calafiori making explosive runs. Leeds United paid the price a month earlier when this exact pattern produced 2 goals. And even when Newcastle tried to adjust, William Saliba blocked Pope, freeing Gabriel to smash home the decisive header. This is the genius of Arteta. Constant variety, constant adaptation. One moment it's a short corner overload, the next it's a near post ambush. And if that fails, it's a far post isolation. Opponents can't predict it, can't defend it, and eventually crack. And if you think this is just about corners, think again. Look at Arsenal's goals this season. A penalty from Victor Gyökeres. Long-range screamers from Zubimendi and Trossard.
A lovely take. Leandro Trossard!
Left wing strikes from Saka. Vertical switches from Martinelli, set-piece headers, overlapping patterns.
Gyökeres on the overlap, Gyökeres!
Counter-attacks and brute force finishes. This was once a side accused of being one-dimensional, too predictable in the final third. Today, Arsenal can score in every possible way. That is the magic of Mikel Arteta. Identify the flaw, fix it ruthlessly, and turn it into a weapon. With the best keeper in the world, the best centre-back duo in Europe, and now one of the most dynamic attacks you can imagine, Arsenal are no longer a project. They are a nightmare.